What is going on, guys? Eric H here. I have a completely different video than the usual video you guys see from me, and that is I have more of a reselling guide. I know people charge 50 bucks for these resale tips, and there's no secret behind them. You're just looking at basic math, basic profit margins, and just coming up with your own predictions. Some of them are not right, and by no means do I want to claim that anything in this video is right, because I am a human, I make mistakes. But once again, these are just my predictions, what I believe the market is going to be, because if you guys aren't paying attention, market is at an all-time low in pretty much everything due to the unfortunate pandemic that is really affecting every country, every market. Unfortunately, it is devastating to see happen, but with that being said, there is definitely a buyer's market coming through with this. We are going to be looking at three categories today. That is going to be the cheap option, the risky option, and then just a safety option that has just a consistent value behind it, a consistent growth. First and foremost, let's look at the cheapest option, right? So for the cheapest option, I picked something that was under 100 bucks with a high profit margin, just based off of past information, past drops, past items that did similar amounts. You're stepping out of quarantine for the first time, you're trying to think, how could I lick the flies for the honeys? There's one solution: the Supreme Tupac tee. Rock that. It's a slept on tee, and the price is dumb low, and you got the shotties out of it, right? Okay, so let's look at it on a economical level. Look at the last sold on each tee. Dirt cheap. Think about the sell now, think about the buy now. If you can find someone selling it to you for the low, by all means take the chance, shoot your shot, and buy it. Because personally, I believe a tee like this, if we look at Supreme tees from fall winter 19, most of them are in the $80-$90 range, and taking into consideration StockX cut plus StockX shipping, they're 100 bucks. Some of them maybe not. This is a Supreme Tupac. This is a tee that a lot of people wanted more than anything, so it's only going to affect the value over time, and it's just going to increase over time like any tee. I think with the summer coming up, it's going to hit 100 right away. Maybe not right away given the market and the circumstances, but I want to say right after all this finally passes over, I could see it hitting 100 bucks after market kind of situates itself. And especially with summer coming, short sleeves are always in the summer. Something that I noticed with a lot of Supreme tees when they first drop for spring summer 20 is they never do well right away, and that's just because not a lot of people wear short sleeves. A lot of the northern hemisphere doesn't wear that stuff right away. They can't wear it right away, they have to wait till summer. So a lot of people sleep on it because of that. So for this second option, I decided to go with something that was risky but could in the end have an amazing payout. So let's take a trip in the mind of a consumer, right? The Dior Jordans finally come out. You're feeling them, you wanted them for a minute.
I need it!
You go to the Dior store and you are dripped to hell. You got the off-whites on, the Supreme. You said they're gonna give it to me just because of what I'm wearing. Wrong, sold out. I don't have the Dior low Jordans, what am I gonna do? And then that's when you see them. You see freaking Chad over there with the Dior low Jordans that are in your size, with the Supreme box logo that you wanted to buy off Supreme that sold out. So what are you gonna do? You said, all right, well, let me go on StockX. Let me just buy the Dior Jordan lows, right? Easy enough. You look up the price. They're gonna be hitting for $6,000. I don't see that many people really gonna actually seriously sit down and buy the shoe, but I could see shoes that look similar to it increasing in value, and I've already seen that with a lot of the Nike SB Dunks that have that gray and white silhouette similar to the Dior shoe. Those have actually increased, I think, to like $400, $500 already. But that aside, I could see the Jordan 1 Low Paris, because it's not an SB, it's a Jordan 1 Low, similar to the Dior's. So that being said, I can see an item like this hitting for $350 at the lowest. That's kind of like my safety net with it. At max hitting like $500, $550, because along with it looking like a Dior, and I know with a lot of Jordan 1 lows, they're kind of more on the risky side, because a lot of them over time do tend to decrease value and lose their value over time. If you look at the Jordan 1 Travis Scott, Jordan 1, I think they're like the Desert Ore versions, the ones that have the peel back blue, I think navy blue or something along the lines of that. I know they're going for under what the market was originally. So with a shoe like that, it's a lot more risky, but this is like the one Jordan 1 low that I could see going up over time, just because of the story behind it and the fact that it looks like a Dior shoe. Last but not least, we have what is considered more of our safety investment and more of an investment that is guaranteed to make your money back, and you really can't go wrong with this investment. And it's just a matter of, it's a little bit more on the expensive side to buy it as it is. That's going to be a shoe that is restocked now 2 times. and it has no decrease in profit margin, and that is of course the Yeezy 700 Wave Runner. Pretty much a classic at this point, I want to say. I mean, every year it restocks and the value continues to once again go down and then picks itself right back up each time. I think right now that I've seen people selling them for $320, $330 just to dump them during this market and during this unfortunate event. Once again, awful situation to put people in to begin with, and my heart goes out to the people affected. So if we look at when the Wave Runners first drop, we see them selling for about 700, 800, and they drop to like 4 to 5. They're in the 500 range pretty much. Restock again, boom, drops to like under 400, right? But look at every time they drop, right? Look at every time they drop. They go down to 300, but then they pick themselves up over 4, almost into 5. I want to say some sizes are going to be in that 500 range. Looking at the graph alone, you see a constant decrease, but following an increase. And each time it increases, yeah, it's a little bit less than before. I mean, they were at 500 flat. They climbed back down to a 460, 450 average, but they're still picked up. So just because they hit the 300 mark right now, I mean, I know people selling them, dumping them for like StockX payout, a little bit over StockX payout. And StockX payout, first and foremost, you guys could buy off StockX. It's just a little bit harder to make some investment. So by just finding those connections, maybe I'll make another video if you guys want on finding those connections, could go a long way in finding people that are selling Wave Runners just for the low. If this is the last restock on Wave Runners, they're going to go up and hit 500 easy. But the fact that it hasn't given enough time to climb each time is the only reason it hasn't hit 500 yet. But that is more of our safety option. That is an option that you want to go with just because you don't want to take too much of a risk. All in all, in this video isn't meant to give you a guide to make millions of dollars. This is just a guide to kind of interest people that are into reselling and kind of provide some sort of guidance that you don't have to pay for, because with shoes like this, they're a lot more safer to invest in. These are something where you're not putting $1,000 in an item hoping it makes you 200 when you could buy theoretically 3 Wave Runners and have them make you $300 almost guaranteed. With that being said, guys, if you guys want to see more videos like this, I could do one once a week. I'm fine with that. I have nothing else to do during this quarantine. So if you guys want to see that, give this video 100 likes. Let's blow this one up a little bit. Let me know in the comments what you guys personally have been investing in during this quarantine, and maybe I could use that as some sort of guidance towards the next video. But once again, guys, have a great day. Stay safe, stay healthy.